exercise, we're going to focus on our glutes and really work on engaging those muscles, lifting that rear end up, and strengthening those muscles, which is one of the biggest set of muscles in our body. So to get into the position, we're going to roll ourselves down, make sure our cats are out of the way, and then we're going to plant our feet firmly on the ground. And we also want to always keep those abs engaged. And to do this, we're going to tilt our pelvis forward, so we're going to lift it up, lift it forward, kind of lifting those glutes off the ground a little bit, so that Pilates scoop is engaged, those abs are tucked in and down, and our lower back is flat on the ground. We want to really keep that flat on the ground. So, to do this exercise, there's some different degrees of difficulty. So, the further in that our feet are towards our glutes, the harder the exercise is going to be. So if we want to kind of make it a little bit easier on ourselves, if we're first starting out, we can take those heels out a little bit further. Then we want to have our arms against the mat, or we want to make sure our Pilates scoop is engaged. We can kind of keep those hands against our stomach to feel that our abs are engaged. And then we're going to keep our head against the ground here, kind of our gaze up so our neck's in line with our body. So for this, we're going to focus on raising these hips to the ceiling. So to do this, we're going to slowly lift each vertebrae up off the ground, slowly raising our hips and keeping those abs in, that pelvis forward. And we want to make sure we're not dipping to one side here, so keeping those hips straight up towards the ceiling. And we also want to, so we're going to keep raising slowly up, and we also want to make sure that any pressure that we have in our upper body is in our shoulders. And to check this, we want to make sure we can turn our head side to side, stick out our tongue, make sure that that's okay, make sure there's not too much pressure on that neck. So here we're in full bridge. So we're going to make sure we squeeze our glutes at the top of this bridge here, really engage those muscles, and we can slowly lower ourselves back down. Exhale down. We can inhale to prepare. Exhale, slowly lifting each vertebrae up off the ground at a time. Squeezing those glutes at the top, slowly lifting back, slowly lowering back down. And as soon as those glutes touch the mat, you want to lift back up. Really trying to get as high as you can, keeping those abs engaged. Making sure that neck is still okay. And lowering back down. And raise again. Exhale on the way up. So we can keep doing this motion if we want to stay at a lower mod, or to raise it to a higher mod, we can do the bridge, and we'll do it on a single leg. So when we're at the top here, we can raise the leg up. If you can't quite get it to 90, that's fine. You can take a little bend in the knee, maybe lower it down a little bit. So you're really going to feel this other leg working hard to keep yourself stable and support yourself. So keep that toe pointed as high as you can, and then we're going to slowly lower back down. And this leg here that's lifted is not going to move. It's just going to raise and lower, up and down, focusing all our energy on this leg here. So exhale, inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift yourself up. Oh, really going to feel it on this leg, and this glute. Exhale up, and then when we're up here, we can switch to the other leg, putting that leg down, pulling this other leg up here. Or we can keep going with that lower mod, both legs on the floor, both feet on the floor. Inhale, exhale, lift up. Make sure those abs are still engaged. Don't want to make our hips tilt side to side. Make sure they're still facing straight up. Exhale down. Lift and lower. Focus on that breathing. And another modification here. You can put those feet back firmly on the ground, and we can just kind of focus on dipping our hips, kind of adding some instability to this movement. So we can dip one hip down. So this one's going to stay where it was, but this one's just going to dip down. Then we can dip this one down to meet it, raise that one, the other one up, and then raise your left side up to meet your right. So we're just kind of doing a square kind of motion here, moving those hips, adding some instability in. Try to squeeze through those glutes as much as you can, keeping those abs engaged. Make sure to keep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Then we can switch directions here, so dipping that left hip down and the right, left hip back up, then the right. Just adding that instability, really making those muscles work hard. Keeping those abs engaged, making sure that neck's still okay. We can slowly roll ourselves down when we're done with those. Now if you want to stretch those out, you can kind of pull them in for a second, give them a little break. Then when you're ready, you can cross one leg over your other knee, and you can keep it like this if you want to. You can pull that other leg in, giving a nice stretch right here, kind of that outer glute area. Pull that leg up if you want, keep it here. Just focus on that breathing. On the exhale, try to pull it in further. So stay here as long as you want, and then take it down and switch it to the other side. Again, you can pull it in. Feeling tight, just keep it here. Kind of push on that other leg if you want to. Either way, you're going to kind of stretch those muscles. They're nice and warmed up, so you're really going to gain some flexibility. And when you're on that exhale, try to pull it in. If you're here, pull it in as far as you can on that exhale. Don't overstrain, but really kind of challenge your body to gain some more flexibility. So with that, that is the bridge exercise.